So there's this white Jeep in our neighborhood, and I have officially scrolled its driver off of my most, this is real air quotes, my most generous interpretation list. So a few months ago, Melissa was driving us out of the neighborhood and she came to a stop where, so we have these sort of driveway like streets and then the bigger streets in our neighborhood. So she was coming to the end of a driveway like street to meet the bigger road, minding her business, came to a full and complete stop. Only she didn't preemptively see the large, wide tired deluxe Jeep coming in hot, planning for a Dukes of Hazzard style right turn into selfsame driveway like street. No, was not planning on the Callaway VW SUV sitting right there, waiting to come to a complete stop and pull out. So she was not counting on us, and so she saw Melissa come to a stop, and then she had to do like a 85-degree, a little less than 90-degree turn into the driveway. So she did, however, make sure that she slowed down enough to raise her finger at Melissa, and that forever sealed this woman's identity in my mind. And that identity rhymes with itch. Mm. So anyway, I actually met these folks back when we moved here. The August we moved here, they were the boys and I were walking through the neighborhood, and I said hello. And this couple, they told us they wished they lived in Florida, and they did warn us about the droopy trees prone to, bees nests and hornets nests. So I appreciated the safety lookout, but yeah, they just, when you meet someone, you're like, yeah, we're not each other's people. So over the next year or so, though, they lived behind us, so we could look out our window and see them driving down the driveway. And, it was like a big Jeep, a big pickup, and a Dodge Charger. I have opinions about these things sometimes. The speed limit in our neighborhood is like 10 miles an hour, and they were going through at a healthy 25, over speed bumps and everything. So I'm not fans of these people. And also, if you are not even using your common sense when driving in a neighborhood, and then you're going to flip my wife off because she was in the way of your plan, you're on the list. And I don't mean Christmas cards. So, I've even seen them a couple times, and I've even offered a couple of like, Southern style smile on top of seething contempt. Like I'd be putting out the recycling bin and they would drive by. One time the husband threw up a hand, but I mean, the wife, she is just like, she just, she just has nothing for you. They're probably dreaming of putting their Charger tires on the wide sands of Daytona Beach, or pissed that they can't do it. I don't know. So I have this opinion about our neighbors. It's very strong. It's very concrete like. And look, I can't control their behavior, but I sure can sit here and I can dub you Lady Witch Wobble, Crust Grumble of the Hornet Swamps. So look, there, I have an opinion, and believing my opinion, that makes me feel like I'm right, and feeling like I'm right, that tells me I'm someone who figures things out. And if I figure things out, that actually leads to maybe staying alive and general life success, I think. But I can I take a moment to just ask? I wonder what experiences my neighbor has had. I wonder what was her family like, and what is her mental makeup that would assume a gray Tiguan sitting at a stop sign was deserving of the finger because we didn't give her the width of birth that she clearly deserved. So I can think about these things, and if I entertain it for a second, look, I still don't like her, but something in my heart that feels a little like curiosity and maybe openness that feels like it might be happening. And it feels better than, it feels a little softer. It's not so concrete like, and I like it more. So this video is about opinions, and today is February 1st, end of January. It's officially the season where those new thoughts we had around January 1st, even if we're not resolutions people, those new ways of being and thinking are starting to come under scrutiny from this concrete monarch in our mind. You know, that voice that says, oh, you're not as far along on that project as you told yourself you'd be by now, and aren't you kind of tired? I mean, you're not really going to change that, and ooh, you've started and stopped so many times, so be realistic. Oh, yeah, there you go, reaching for your phone. Well, what is it, Instagram or Wordle? Yeah, see? So that's the dialogue. It's sort of kind of what goes on in my head. But we're saying hello to February, and one difficult truth is coming home to me, and that is I am one little human, and if I want to invest my life in what I value, I need to, number one, know what that is, and number two, take my attention away from things that crowd and drown out my ability to cultivate what I cherish. So this shines a light on a story I made up. And that's another opinion that I have hunkered into, just like my assessment of, she lives back that way, crusty Jeep woman. So the story is, here's the other opinion. The story is that I have unlimited time, and I can even make more of it. This is what I'm believing when I say I'll schedule that later, or I'll add more tasks on a day that's already fully scheduled, only to arrive at the evening seeing all the uncompleted tasks and say, see, you don't do what you say you will do. But this is what I'm realizing. The problem isn't that I can't show up for myself and follow through. The issue is that I'm so offended by the limits of being a human. And especially now when we are so easily, inundated by everything everyone is doing, and our brains think, oh, I should write and produce my own one-person show at the Edinburgh Fringe while spearheading my own NGO, and then, oh, I'll get those arugula seeds going in the kitchen window for spring planting. That's the vibe in my head sometimes, especially if I get on a scroll and I see what everybody's doing, and it's a lot. So, and I've always been a time bender, so I have been convinced that I could shower, get dressed, and take the train from Times Square to 96th Street in a tight 23 minutes. That never happened. I'm sorry to everybody that I was late for. That just was unrealistic. I am reforming, but my opinion still insists there's got to be some Hermione Granger time turner loophole to be found. But there is one area where I have conceded to the truth, and that's been really sweet. And that is the area of knowing things, or rather not knowing things. So Melissa she still calls me the teacher, shakes her head, and for good reason. I would literally walk into Barnes and Noble and leave in a nervous sweat because I would be overwhelmed by all the things that I didn't know, like all the data I would never own. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. I felt so tiny and ignorant. And now I've arrived at this new embrace of my tiny ignorance as this itty bitty human in the face of the universe's great mystery. And I also have two little boys at home who ask me how the dinosaurs really died, how pajamas are made, and who created God. So I'm faced with my ignorance at all times. And knowing that I'm lovingly held in this great mystery while I'm clue free about how electricity works or how my cells are dividing or how this video gets transmitted to you through the YouTubes is pretty sweet and liberating. So my next concession to freedom will be to embrace the limits of time as we understand it. So far as I know, I can't make more of it. And I found a good practice for deciding what to do with your present is to consult your future self. So, like last night, I wanted to go straight to bed and collapse after staying up too late to watch an episode of Julia on HBO Max. What's it called now? But it's really good. Season 2, I just started it. But future me said he would appreciate if the coffee maker were set up, and he would appreciate clean dishes in the dishwasher the next morning, and to hear my dental hygienist say one day, "You have been flossing." So it's really embarrassing when you kind of like falling off the floss game when you get to the dentist. So anyway, I'm going to be proud next time I go in. Proud gums. But future you has terrific wisdom to offer. And I recommend you consult him or her frequently. I recommend you consult future you frequently. So future me also recommends that I turn my attention from white Jeeps. I still don't. I saw her today and it's snowy and so the road is a little narrower and I came over and just like sped by like too close. Like she doesn't know, but like I was being a real badass in my head. I was so mad at her. I'm so mad. But future me would like me to turn my attention from the white Jeep toward the people I love, toward the pretty rock walls on the road. I love looking at the shape of winter trees. They're just so pretty. And I heard a wise person say this week, the only kind of person you can change is a baby. So, and you yourself, of course. So, I mean, I can change me, you can change you. So, the cement opinions that might be talking to you today on February 1st, 2024, the date of this video, see if maybe they might be mistaken about some things. Take 3 minutes to write down what future you will be glad you valued and invested in, and go through those unchecked items. It's just lots of unchecked items in here. And feel free to strike through a few of them that your future self said won't matter. Yeah. So there are a couple of emails in here that I can probably just be okay not sending. And then some my future self actually wants me to send that I'm afraid to send. So I'm going to do those too. I did a couple today. Yep. So I'll let you know how it goes. And also, future you agrees with me in that there is, in fact, only one you, and folks need to hear the story that only I can sing. All right? So be curious about your opinions and love much.